WWE's battle with third-party platforms, specifically Twitch, appears to be continuing. I say WWE, we mean, of course, Vince McMahon. Now, it was reported last night by Raj Giri over at Wrestling Inc. exclusively that they had learnt that the WWE chairman Vince McMahon had sent an email to talent this week reminding them that they have until Friday, October 2nd to sever any unauthorized business relationships with third parties. This, of course, includes the likes of Twitch, Cameo, and other third-party platforms, possibly YouTube as well. It was also noted that any talent who fails to comply with this Vince McMahon edict could be fined, suspended, or even terminated. Now, obviously, it was widely reported, it was first broken by Wrestling Inc. last month, but it was widely reported in September that Vince McMahon had issued an edict instructing all WWE talents, superstars, employees, etc. that they can no longer engage with third parties. Then they backtracked on this slightly after huge backlash, because remember when this was first reported last month and WWE sent this letter out to all of their talent and their WWE superstars, some crazy lines were used in that letter. It was, we not just only own your WWE name, we also own your real name, which of course they don't. It raised the conversation once again about independent contractors. It raised the discussion once again about having a union in professional wrestling, WWE's lack of healthcare providing, lack of benefits, lack of social security, all of that stuff. It opened that massive can of worms. So I was absolutely, to be honest, I was absolutely stunned that they even bothered doing it just to open those can of worms, especially in 2020, when it just feels like that's just not the right time at all to be doing this. Especially during a pandemic, especially during a time which they let go, was it 20-30% of their roster, especially during a time which people are hurt in the pocket, people are losing money, people are without jobs, and WWE decided, hey, you can't make money. Stop making that money. That isn't WWE money. So they backtracked on this slightly. They clarified the edict, saying that the talent could maintain their Twitch and YouTube accounts, just had to be under their real names. So you saw the likes of Paige changing her Twitch streaming service to her real name, and the likes of other people, like the likes of people also questioned about Xavier Woods and the up down down thing. Was he going to continue that? Was he going to continue that channel? That channel is actually subsidized by WWE anyway, and when they appear on that channel, they use their real name, so that wasn't really an issue. It was more the people like Adam Cole, like AJ Styles, like Paige, like Cesaro, all of which who do their own streaming platforms. They work on Twitch, they work on YouTube, etc. Previously using their WWE names, but now they quickly changed to their own personal names. So Paige changed all of her Twitch channel stuff to Zariah Bavis, her real name. Cesaro changed it to Claudio Castagnoli. AJ Styles, as far as I'm aware, doesn't need to change anything. AJ Styles used that name prior to WWE. I don't know if he owns it himself, but I think that's more of a grey area. The same with Adam Cole too. So I don't know about that. But they backtracked. They backtracked after all the pressure and after all of people speaking out about it and saying that it was wrong and it was greedy, and that's what it comes down to, greed. They backtracked and said, oh, you can keep your streaming platforms, you can stay on Twitch, you can stay on YouTube, just use your real names, just don't use your WWE superstar names, which was fine. I don't think anyone had a problem with that. They just said, use your real names and let us know if you're using those accounts. That's it. And I think everyone, myself included, went, you know what, that's fine. That's fine, because I get it. If Paige is doing a Twitch channel under the name of Paige, WWE Superstar Paige, and she's making a lot of money off that, and she does. It was something, was it like 40 grand a month? Something ridiculous. It was a big amount of money. If she's making that money off of her Paige name, then WWE, they do have a bit of room there, because that's a name that was established by WWE. That was a name that was made famous by WWE, and it's a name that WWE has poured a lot of money into, whether it comes to merchandising, promotion, etc. They have a right there. They absolutely have a right there. That's their intellectual property. Now, things have changed even more over the last 24 hours, because, as I mentioned earlier on in the video, Wrestling Inc. exclusively reported and also learned that talent were told this week, on top of being reminded, hey, cease your third-party platform usage, they were also told by the company that WWE will be taking control of their Twitch accounts in 4 weeks. WWE will own these accounts. However, talent will receive a percentage of the revenue, which counts against their downside guarantees. when I saw this, I was just frankly, I'm stunned. Well, this is the thing: is you're stunned, but you're not stunned. You are shocked that they're continuing to persist with this after what happened, the outcry that happened before, and the severe backlash that happened before. You are surprised that they're continuing to carry on with this because I don't see from a legal point of view, and full disclosure, guys, I'm not a lawyer, but from a legal point of view, I don't get it. I don't get what ground they have to stand on here. I don't get it. I really don't understand it because how can they own someone else's Twitch channel? How can Paige, right? So she's changed her stuff. Like I said, it's Zariah Bavis now. That's her Twitch channel. How can WWE just say, no, we own that, but don't worry, we'll give you some of the money, but it's against your downside guarantee. So if you make more money on that, we'll take money off your contract. It's BS. Absolute BS. And it comes down to shock horror. I can't believe this. Guess what, guys? It comes down to money. It always comes down to money. That's what I said in all of these videos I've made about this subject. The reason why WWE initially said to people, you can't work on Twitch, you can't work on Cameo, is because superstars and talent are making money that's not in their pocket. And they have a massive problem with that. They have a massive problem with talent making money that isn't WWE money. They'd much rather AJ Styles streams on the WWE Twitch channel, and then WWE can make all the money, and then they give AJ Styles a little bit of money. Because that makes WWE money, that makes Vince McMahon money. That's all they care about. That's all this is about. It's money. They've seen the success and the popularity of WWE superstars streaming during the pandemic, which they might as well have. One, everyone was under lockdown, so they had to stay at home. Two, their paychecks were cut significantly because they weren't doing live events, which they shouldn't be, but their paychecks were cut. So like anyone else, during this 2020 that everyone's had, you find alternatives. You find ways of making money. You find ways of supporting your family. You find ways of putting food on the table. And WWE have told their talent, essentially, that's unacceptable. And now the big corporation comes in and gobbles it all up. That's WWE's money. It's outrageous. It's absolutely outrageous. And Andrew Yang, former Democratic presidential candidate, he was very vocal about this before. He chimed in and said it was unacceptable, and that if Joe Biden wins the presidential election and he gets put into a role in the administration, he was going to go after WWE. He was going to try and take on this independent contractor BS that they've been doing for many, many years, and he was going to try and do something about it. Support for Wrestle News 365 is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Now, Manscaped, for all of my UK fans out there, Manscaped just launched in the UK. Over here in the United Kingdom, we have gone for years and years and years without using the right tools for the job. But now you can be one of the first men in England to experience their life-changing product. But it's not just limited to all of the great fans over here in the UK. This offer goes worldwide, so all of my friends over in America and around the world that are listening to this offer still does apply for you. You can still use our code. But I've got to tell you a quick story first. Now, there have been so many times, right? I'm a guy. You gotta groom down there, fellas, right? That's the most important thing. You gotta keep yourself trimmed. You gotta keep yourself proper. And a lot of the time, I've been guilty of this, of using the wrong tools for the job. I've had incidences, I'm not afraid to say it, where things have been nicked, snagged, or in fact cut down there because I wasn't being careful enough and using the right equipment. And that just shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen. You don't want to be worrying about cutting yourself down there. Do you know how painful that is? I can tell you, it hurts quite a lot. And I wish and hope to God it never happens to me again, and it won't happen to me ever again because I'm using Manscaped products. That's why Manscaped has redesigned the electric trimmer. The Manscaped engineering team has perfected the greatest ball hair trimmer ever created. Big statement, but it's absolutely true. They have just released the new and improved Lawnmower 3.0 in the UK. It's also available around the world as well. Their third generation trimmer features a cutting edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents. So those cuts and snags that I was telling you about before are a thing of the past. And let me tell you, when I tell you this is premium, I mean premium. The battery will last up to 90 minutes so you can get a longer, perfect shave. And not only that, you don't want to be cutting yourself and trimming yourself all over the bathroom, getting hair all over the place. That's just disgusting. The lawnmower has a waterproof technology that allows you to groom in the shower, so no more mess. And one of the coolest features, one of my favorite features about the lawnmower is the LED light, which illuminates grooming areas for a closer and more precise trimming experience. So you can shave longer, you can shave more precisely, and you can shave in the shower. What more do I need to tell you? They've also upgraded to a 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology, and let's not forget about the charging stand. You can show off your mower loud and proud because this intelligently designed stand is a convenient charging dock powered by USB. So, if you are listening to me speak right now, I want you to experience it firsthand for yourself. Let's get that bush to tush clean, and you can get 20% off and free shipping. Yeah, you heard me right there. 20% off and free shipping. All you have to do is use the code 365wrestle at manscaped.com. Make your testes their besties. That's 20% off and free shipping. Not only are you getting 20% off, you're getting free shipping as well with the code 365wrestle at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com, and use the code 365wrestle. Your balls will thank you. And he's openly spoken in interviews that it's unacceptable. It's absolutely unacceptable. And he's pretty much said the same thing here. He said that, in his opinion, he would be really bothered if he was a WWE talent. They've built up their name and their reputation on social media, only for the company to come in and say that it's theirs now. And it's greed. That's what it is. It's greed, and it's unacceptable. And I do think about their threats here, WWE, because as I mentioned previously, the initial letters and conference calls about this situation said to talents that if you fail to comply with this, you could be fined, suspended, or terminated. Now, I was thinking about someone like AJ Styles, right? AJ Styles, he loves to do Twitch, he loves to stream, all of that sort of stuff. You're telling me that they're going to fire AJ Styles for keeping a Twitch account? I don't think so. And now WWE might want to try and fine him or suspend him. They might want to try and make an example out of him. If I'm AJ Styles and I know the position that I have in the company and I know my worth to WWE, and he is worth a lot to WWE, trust me, okay? If I'm him, I'm going, go on ahead, fire me. If you're going to fire me over a Twitch channel, really? No, you're not. Call their bluff. If they're going to try and fine you, say, I'm not going to pay it. If you're going to try and suspend you, go fine. I'll sit at home. And I'll stream, and I'll make loads of money off of it. I don't see what WWE is trying to achieve out of this. The only thing I can think that they're trying to achieve out of this is they're trying to bully their talent into getting what they want. They're trying to get more money in their pocket. This is the same company as well that's trying to get record revenue. Every quarter it comes up, we're having record revenue this time. They're in the middle of a deal with Saudi Arabia. That's like a 10-year deal that's made them more profitable than ever. And it leaves a really bad taste in my mouth. I don't know about you, but it leaves a really bad taste in my mouth because ultimately what it comes down to is money and greed. Ultimately, WWE are telling their talents, this is what they're telling them. They're telling their talents, you can't make that money. You can't make that amount of money. We have to make that money. We have to control what money you make. We have to control everything. We have to control everything. Which, if that's the case, if that's what you want to do, if you want to control how much money a talent makes, if you want to control what outside bookings a talent does, if you want to control what they do in their free time on other platforms, make them an employee. Because they're not an employee, they're an independent contractor. As an independent contractor, they should be allowed to work with third parties. As an independent contractor, you can't take over their personal accounts. You can't do that. You just can't do that. So I fully expect there to be backlash to this, and I'm sure there will. The fact that I'm doing this video is backlash, so I'm probably representative of a few people that feel the same way about this. I know people in the company must feel horrified by this because it's just complete BS, and it's a complete abuse of power, and it's threats, and it comes across as just the big company trying to bully their talent and their staff into doing something that they shouldn't be doing. Really, that's what it comes down to, in my opinion. So I'm sure there will be some kind of backlash to this. I just can't see. I can't see WWE saying to someone like Paige, your account's ours now. I just can't see her. She won't take it. She just won't take it. She'll just say, fine, fire me. And the same with AJ Styles. They'll say, fine, fire me. And I don't know if Adam Cole, he's still coming up in the company, if he'd want to do that. But he probably knows his worth as well. Let's be honest here. Adam Cole could go to AEW and make a lot of money. They want to keep Adam Cole. Okay, so if I was them, I'd say, no, you're not taking over my Twitch account. You're not taking my money out my pocket. Thanks for the charity of, you can have a percentage of it. Oh, really? First you say I have to change it to my real name. I understand that. I totally understand that. I really do. I understand the purpose of that's WWE's intellectual property. In the same way that every time someone gets fired, they have to change their name. That's how it works. That's exactly how it works, okay? I don't have a problem with that. That makes legal sense to me. What doesn't make legal sense is telling an independent contractor they can't have they can't have a personal Twitch account, and if they do, the company owns it. How? You don't own their real names. You don't own their real names. You don't own everything that they have just because they have an independent contractor contract with you. That's not how it works. Now, I'm sure going forward in the future, some of the legal jargon of the contracts with WWE talents will involve this, because every time there's an issue like this, going forward, they change it, right? So back in the day, if you were released, you didn't have a 90-day non-compete clause, stuff like that, until people started showing up on WCW, and then they put that sort of stuff in. It's the same thing going forward with this. I'm sure that new contracts going forward will have some clauses about working with third-party platforms. If you have a third-party platform and you use your own name, WWE owns it, I'm sure they'll put that into the contracts. But, I mean, maybe it isn't in the contracts right now, and maybe it's something they do going forward. I just think, from a PR point of view as well, from a PR point of view, during a pandemic, during a time there's mass unemployment and people are more tight for money than they've ever been, and money's out of the pocket, and like I said, people are without jobs. They're either furloughed or they're just being fired and they have to stay at home, and people are getting sick. All of this. Do you really want to see a company taking money out of people's pocket, telling its staff you can't make extra money on the side? Really? Is that a good look? Is that a good look for a company that has been massively hurt in the stock market this year? Massively. I did a piece for Sportskeeda a couple of weeks ago. WWE, their stock price around the time of WrestleMania 35, so last April, in when they had the WrestleMania 35 in New Jersey, their stock price was nearly at $100 per share. I mean, that is ridiculous, a ridiculous price. About now, it's down to about $40, just under $40 per share. So that is a ton of money out of the McMahon's pockets. It really is. It's a huge amount of money. And yes, obviously COVID had a part to do with that. It's had a huge amount to do with that when it comes to the stock market. But that decline was already there. And around November last year, I think it was up down to like $60 or $50 a share after the issues with the Saudi shows and all this kind of stuff. So they've been on a decline for about 18 months now when it comes to when it comes to their stock price. And now the pandemic, obviously it's hurt them financially. It's hurt everyone financially. So just because it's hurt the company, you have to take money out of your employees. They're not employees, they're talents, contracts. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I think, to be honest, I like I said, I think there will be backlash. There has to be backlash, because it's not acceptable. It's not acceptable, and it's greed. That's what it is. Ultimately, it's about money and it's about greed. But of course, as always, this is just one man's opinion. What are your thoughts on WWE saying to talents that they will own their Twitch accounts in the next 4 weeks? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll be sure to respond and reply to all of your comments. Really enjoy interacting with you guys. If you've enjoyed this video, smash a like on the like button as well. It really does help us out here on YouTube. Go up the rankings and get into people's recommendation feeds if they haven't seen our videos previously. But most importantly, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to Wrestle News 365. You can do that by clicking the bottom right hand corner of the screen right now. Or if you wait a few seconds, there'll be a subscribe button at the end of this video, along with another video for you to watch. Thank you very much for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today, and I'll speak for you again very, very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.